Hi. So today I wanted to talk about when the narcissist traps you. So the narcissist, in my opinion, and there's probably more, but I see that they could trap you in three major ways. So number one, romantically. Number two, financially. And number three, mentally. So I do recognize that romantically, could also be involved with mental and financial trapping. But with romantic, I see that it could involve trapping you with children, in-laws that you love so much, or that the narcissist can be harming your in-laws, and then just that security. But honestly, like, you're not secure if you are living with a narcissist who is unaware and not getting treatment that they need. But you could have a sense of security and just fear of leaving them. So the first way that I see that you can be trapped is through your parents. So the reason why a lot of the times with narcissistic parents, why you were born, is for purposes other than to foster the growth of a future productive member of society. So for me, for instance, like I was just telling somebody that I was birthed to, and I was told this forever. I know my dad tells me that I'm his baby, and that because my mom, she says she wishes I was never born. She wishes I was dead. But my dad says that I'm his kid, and I'm his baby. So I'm not talking about my dad. But my mother would always say the reason why that I was born was as a play toy or plaything for my older sister, because they wanted my older sister to have someone to play with. So it could look like that. It could also be to make your parent look good. Like, I also was in Girl Scouts, and I made my mother look like the perfect mother. Like, my best friend ended up getting into Girl Scouts as well, because my mother made it look like she was like a good person to entrust with your children. And so she basically got my best friend into Girl Scouts also, which was a good thing. But like yeah, she didn't have to live with my mother. That is the better thing. So yeah, they use you to make themselves look good in society. Like, I was not allowed, nor my older sister were not allowed to get less than a B in school. We would get in a lot of trouble if we did. Spankings and grounding. I was very taken aback when my friends would say, "Oh, I got a C," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I feel bad for you." But honestly, their parents would not react the same way that my parents would, which would be grounding or getting spankings if I got anything less than a B. And even my older sister had to deal with that as well. But I'm not sure the spanking portion on her end, but spanking and grounding for me. So you are basically trotted around town, and you are only doing, like, for me, I was only doing activities with Girl Scouts, but I was trotted around town just to be like a little not chauffeur, but like a little like a helper, basically. So getting my mother this, helping my mother with that. Like in the store, I have to go get this and this and this and this, complete her shopping list for her. Or let's see, basically like to make her look good, like in society, like when there were functions for her job or like outings, just to bring me along, like to look good, as the perfect child in viola, and doing really well in school, just to be able to boast about how she is a good parent, how well she can discipline the perfect child, when in all reality I was the only person being disciplined, and my little sister basically did whatever she wanted, and my older sister, she could do what she wanted to an extent. In school, they did not cut us slack with school though. It's just the punishment was a lot harsher for me. And then just to look like the perfect mother, just to have that whole nuclear family, just to have that whole family aspect, to look good in society. So that's the parent sector. So narcissistic friendships, they benefit from having you as a friend, especially empaths, is to make them look good, just like a narcissistic parent. But it makes them look good as in society, especially nowadays. Like, the quantity is better than quality when it comes to friendships, for narcissists. So they don't matter. They don't care how long. They don't care, like, what kind of person you are. They will keep you in their life if they've known you for a long time, just to have more friends. So also, it is to gain access to a world that they would not have access to originally. So that's financially, that's status, and just being able to gain more benefits than they were before. So like, if you work in a certain place and they want like the perks of that, that's an easy reason why a narcissistic friend would keep you as a friend. But also, the biggest reason that I see that a lot of people, like, it goes right past their head, is to scam you. So especially if you are a kind-hearted person, if you're empath, if you are naive, and like I say before, just because you are naive does not mean you're stupid. It just means that you're not used to something. It's just not, you're not used to seeing this trait. So you have to learn that this thing is real, okay? So just remember that. But a lot of the times they'll steal from you, and they see that they can get something from you, at like financially, or your men, like you guys like the same guys, and she wants to get closer, she or he wants to get closer to that guy. But yeah, that is the way that narcissistic friends would benefit from having an empath, or utilizing you as a friend. And I'm saying these things before I go into the last romantic relationship section, because narcissists, they do not like you, but they see the benefit in you. They only love and care about themselves. So the reason why they would have you in their life is to benefit. And that's why I'm listing off these portions of people, like your parents, your friends, and next I'm going to your relationship, so that you can see how they benefit. Why would they have you why would they have you in their life in general? So the last aspect, the last sector of people would be like, why would a narcissist be in a relationship with you if they only love themselves or care about themselves? For themselves, it's an ego boost. It makes them see that they could have you, like, especially if you're beautiful. knowing that they could bag you gives them that ego boost, like, oh, I could conquer the world, I can do whatever. It's like fuel. It's like they are the car, you're their gas. So usually these people have multiple partners. The more the merrier, the more fuel, the more distance they can go, the more things they feel that they can do. And like I said, they only love, and like I said, but this gives a better idea of what they're thinking, is that they only love the fact that someone loves them. So it's not that they love you per se, and I know that's hard to hear because they could say this all day, and if you're gullible, you're gonna believe it, because if you're not used to being treated like this, you're gonna think, if you're not used to people lying, we're not instinctually wanting to lie about something so serious like that. White lies, yes. Like if you want to say, hey, you do not look fat, because you don't want to hurt their feelings, like, yes, we understand that. But when it comes to things like manipulative like that, we're not going to be instinctually wanting to lie about things like that. So you're not going to understand that people do that. So please do not project who you are onto other people. I've mentioned this in a previous video. It's super important to not project who you are onto other people, because it's dangerous. It could cost you your life, especially in a relationship, because they will physically harm you and not feel any remorse. It would just be to cover their bases, make sure that they don't get into any sort of trouble, or make sure that they like beat you into submission, basically. So please, and which could kill you. So please be careful, okay? But they only love the fact that somebody, which is you, loves them. So that's what they love. They love being loved. So the more partners, the better, because the more people that love them, the better for that. The bigger ego boost, the better it makes them appear. And especially with men, it's like they try to get as many conquests as they can to make themselves look better in front of their other trashy male friends. And that's the trashy men. I'm sorry, I even hate saying trashy, low quality men. Of course, a intelligent or low intelligent man. Of course, an intelligent, high quality man, which there are plenty, is not going to, or female, is not going to do that. Because this is men and women. I'm not just picking on the dudes. I'm sorry, guys. But so intelligent, high quality woman or man is obviously not going to do any of these things. They're going to cherish and appreciate the fact that you exist in this society where a lot of people are praised for being evil, where billionaires are, you have to be, in order to be a billionaire, it seems like you have to, your rite of passage is to own a sweatshop, to cut costs as much as you can. So when in a world that praises evil and gives benefits to narcissism and narcissistic tendencies, that is going to be the status quo. But of course, when you're a high quality, high intelligent person, you are going to really cherish and value an empath. You're going to cherish and value someone who goes out of their way to help you, and they're going to do everything they can to keep you. They're also going to treat you with respect. They are going to make sure that you're well taken care of, mentally and physically. They're going to not feel so possessive over you and trust you enough to be yourself and to have friends. And they're not going to keep you on a leash. Like, it's not even a leash, it's a chokehold, really. They're not going to be so judgmental of you. They're not going to want to make you into the idea of who they want you to be. They're going to love you for you. So just know that these people are out there. There's so many people out there. And if you are dealing with somebody in a relationship like this, leave, please, because you're going to find somebody that is going to love and appreciate you. You just need to be mentally healthy enough to find that person. Okay? So do not put yourself out there too fast, and just work on your mental health and be ready for when that person comes along, so that you are good for them as well. Because you deserve that. You deserve to be mentally healthy for you, yourself, for them, for your society, like, to better this beautiful society. Like, we all deserve mentally healthy people. But you can also, in relationships, this one is a lot bigger, because it's a lot. A lot goes into narcissistic people in relationships, but you can be used as a pawn to make someone jealous. So I'm going to tell my story of when I was naive, because my whole life I've dated, and I'm telling you, my whole life until I was 33, I only dated people who weren't narcissists. I actually dated one person who had narcissistic tendencies. I don't really think they were narcissists. I just think they were super depressed. But my whole life I dated people that were not players. They weren't jerks. They were a lot of the guys I dated, even though we ended sometimes on bad notes, they were really great people. I could tell that they really loved me, and that we just had issues that happened where we had to go our separate ways, or we just weren't compatible. I was very blessed and lucky with the relationships I had in my past. And then I dated somebody with narcissistic tendencies, and then I dated a full-blown narcissist. And then, so when I was 33, I dated somebody briefly, and I'd never dated anybody like this. So that's why I was blessed enough to know that this person was not what I wanted at all, that they were we had two different types of dating styles. I came from a background of dating people who were very, in touch with their feelings, in touch with other people's feelings, that were emotionally intelligent, that were mentally, intelligent, otherwise. So I know that's not for everybody, but I was very blessed to be able to have relationships like that, who were men raised by strong men, or had a strong man in their life, and who were just amazing people, even though we, like I said, did have our issues, and they had their issues, and some bigger than other issues. They weren't players and liars and cheaters and just manipulators. But that, when I turned 33, I met one, and so it was super obvious, and I thank the Lord for having me have this experience, because it was super obvious to see that I was, number one, being used as a pawn to make his ex jealous, and number two, that he didn't love me. He was lying to me all the time. He was cheating on me, had multiple partners, and all of this I could just tell and sense and feel when everything was off. It was just so night and day, our relationship, from the other past relationships, that it disgusted me, and I ended up really being disgusted by this person, and as soon as I had the opportunity to leave, because I was very much so brainwashed and manipulated and gullible, just thinking, okay, maybe I could just talk to him and be honest with him, and he can see that I'm honest and he can be honest. But no, nothing works. I tried for a while, too long, to give them give them the opportunity to be honest and to work on their mental health. And I just had to just let it go. And as soon as I was given that opportunity to be like, okay, this person really is trying to make you look like a fool, I left. And they were probably making me look stupid beforehand to their friends, but like they literally looked in my face. We were on the phone, but basically looked at my face and said, I'm gonna disrespect you so bad, like, and that was like, okay, yep, yeah, you didn't think I was gonna leave, but, and I'm telling you, like, don't disrespect, like, I'm gonna leave. I left, like, because that's what I'm very quick to do. Is I know my worth. I know that I love myself so much that I want to be with somebody who treats me like the way that I want to be treated, that I was definitely not gonna be that person's like carpenter. I was not gonna fix that person's heart, like when they were destroying my soul. So I was being used as a pawn to make them jealous, and they didn't want to be with me, and they benefited a lot financially from having me around. So I definitely got out of there, and you can too, you guys. But also that goes into the I wasn't having this situation happen to me, but another way that you could be used by narcissists is homosexuals. So they will use women, especially in this time of year, it's getting colder. They will use women or men to have a place to stay. And that is obviously narcissistic, because that's manipulative. But and there's even videos on YouTube that I've heard, I haven't seen, but I've heard that, so look it up, it might not even be true, but that I've heard that they're teaching you what to look for when you're trying to have a place to stay for the winter. But I know that these things happen for a fact, because in my years of traveling, I'm not going to call out my people, but they have a term for this. It's having a place to stay, to have, and I mean, besides going to jail, which a lot of people did too, which is crazy, but they call that 3 hots and a cot. But I'm gonna stop talking about this, kind of like talking about like, I don't want to put that life on blast, but yeah, that's a thing that people do. Just know that that's a thing. So I'm just gonna go over how to spot these signs, because like I said, a lot, sometimes we project who we are on other people, and we assume the best in people, or we think that they're gonna be like us when they're not. So, and like I said, it's not being dumb, it's being gullible. It's not being used to something. Okay? So please don't be so hard on yourself. That's number one, actually. Just don't be hard on yourself. Like, I know that's not how to spot the sign, but that's number one, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. Love yourself. Understand that, like, we all go through our learning journeys at different times, and this is probably just your time. And maybe you're just, like, getting into this, and you still need time to be taught. But just understand that it's a life lesson, okay? So please be gentle to yourself. But how to spot these signs. So compare and contrast how they treat you compared to other friends, siblings, or relationships. So for me, like with my the 33-year-old boyfriend I had, because he wasn't really a boyfriend, how he was treating me, but he how I was able to spot the sign is because, like, he had, like, this baby mama. It was a child that he was not a biological father to, which is, I thought was, like, upstanding, that he was taking responsibility for a kid that wasn't his. But he was still in love with the mom, obviously. And, like, it was crazy how he was treating her compared to how he was treating me. It was like I was just obviously a side thing, and the girl was like his wife, basically. But they weren't living together, all that jazz. But it was just obvious. Like, I could compare and contrast, and I knew, like, okay, yeah, I know what's going on. and siblings. So for siblings with parents, you can tell the difference. Like, your parent is supposed to love you equally. Your parents are supposed to love you equally. Yeah, they can have a disabled child and they'll need more help doing certain things, or you can have different nicknames you give your kid, or you can have different ways of doing things for different children. But the love that you give them is going to be the same. They're going to have the same amount of attention. Besides, like, if you have a disabled sibling and they need more special care, more time learning, more doing this. But the love's going to be the same. There's going to be this I love you, I love you, I love yous all around. Reading books all around. It's not going to be ostracization, okay? And then friends, it's the same. Like, you're going to have best friends and close friends. So you're going to have to decipher where you stand with that friend. But you're going to be able to see, okay, this is their best friend, but this is how they treat me. And compared to them. So you're going to be able to tell the difference between friends as well. But also, like, I forgot to mention that even the way that my ex, and this is the relationship portion, even the way that whatever the heck I want to call that thing, relationship I was in when I was 33, even the way that he talked about his best friends, like people that he's flings, because his best friend was with multiple girls too, but even the way he talked about them was more and better than the way he talked about me, which I was like, bro, yeah, I can't stay with you. And then also, what's really important in the friend aspect is knowing where you stand in that friendship. It's not embarrassing to talk about your friendship because you're supposed to be friends, and just know where you stand. And is the feeling mutual? Like, for so long, like, I never knew if my best friend, who is not my friend at all anymore, if we were even like best friends. And like, that showed a lot, saying that I couldn't even talk to her about, like, hey, where do we stand as friends? Like, that's not embarrassing. It's just like your mental health. And if you are needing people around you, obviously you need to be able to have somebody comfortable that you can talk with. So it's really important just knowing where you stand in the friendship, to know like how comfortable you can be with that person, and how and just like having that person, like how you can have them as a support system for you. But okay, you guys, I just wanted to thank you for watching this video. I know like it takes like 2 seconds to do, so please like if you can, and share if you can share, but I know about sharing videos, and then subscribe, please, so that I can get to more people, to help more people. If this helped you, especially, like, please, because I needed to hear this. I definitely needed to hear this, and I didn't have anybody to tell this to me until I found it out myself, or I literally had to go out and look for it. And then it was too late, and I was already being trapped by these people and emotionally like attached to these people who did not even like me. So please like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.